Wow, thank you all so much. You deserve it, man.
Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Alright, stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly.
I think the biggest stories today are the massive fraud, obviously, that Elon Omar is trying to cover up. So that's like the tip of the iceberg there. But even bigger story right now is the election facility that was raided by the FBI in Fulton County, Georgia, which I think is also just the tip of the iceberg, because I do think they're going to go into Maricopa County very shortly. They're most likely going to go into Pennsylvania, too. All those counties that were the determining factors of Joe Biden, basically what I'm going to say, stealing the election. And those are the counties that are going to probably be raided. So I guess the Democrats are in panic mode right now. I did this story way back when the election even happened in the first place. We already had all this information. We already said all this stuff. And now it's just now coming out and confirmed that obviously the election was stolen. So that means that Donald Trump was actually the winner of the election, and this insurrection crap was just exactly that. It was a stolen election that was covered up by this insurrection thing that we already have all the information on that as well. So everything that is coming out now is stuff we already reported on. I already reported on at the time it was happening. And that was what happened to my channel, was banned and demonetized for saying all the stuff that we're actually proving now. It's not like the evidence wasn't there the whole entire time, because I didn't even leave my house to go and research the evidence. It was so clear. It was right in front of your face the whole entire time, especially, and I believe it was 20,000 affidavits were delivered to Raffensperger. And these were affidavits that swore, by affidavit, of course, that there were irregularities in the 2020 election. And those affidavits were prior to January 6th. From the time of the election to January 6th, there were so many affidavits that were going around, and they were totally ignored. And even Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani were saying, hey, what about all these affidavits? And they just kept on ignoring them completely. Now these Fulton County officials are coming out, and you can clearly see that they're nervous.
We went around Fulton County the last few weeks, and we see that people are currently registered to vote in places like empty lots, homeless shelters that closed 10 years ago. What would you do if you become Secretary of State to address that?
I'm not going to reply to conspiracy theories.
It's not conspiracy. It's a current. You can currently go on the voter rolls, purchase them for $45, and go there with us. We will gladly take you if you want to go to.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm not going to respond to conspiracy theories.
How is that a conspiracy theory? It's an active voter rolls. If you're going to be running for Secretary of State, you're in charge of maintaining the voter rolls. Don't you care about if people are registered to vote from empty lots?
Your questions. I appreciate it. I've got to.
Do you think it's a conspiracy theory that people are registered to vote from empty lots, though? Well, I have the ability to go wherever I want to.
If you take a look at this next video, you're going to see that the reason that the FBI raided Fulton County is because of the duplicate ballots. These guys aren't even making it hard to find the fraud.
And if you think that maybe that's, if you think that maybe that's just a, a mistake or just a coincidence, here's the next one that shows, you can see Republican is written there, Republicans written there. This is ballot 61. This is ballot number 2. And then each one of them even has this little dot in the Fannie Willis.
Okay, and you have more of those?
We have the entire batch. There's 62 images in here total, and I didn't even get a chance to go through all of them. But these are the most obvious ones, where it's clear that it's the same. This one's got the little tail on the side.
And so what happened? So do you know the numbers of these total batches? Like,
I don't remember what the totals were when the batches. I don't think they weren't disparate. They were fairly close. But the simple fact that they
so
occurred.
if you see that little bubble right there, this is one image. Here's another image.
Exactly the same.
Exact same. And the batch number? Was it 5162?
Also scanner 5162.
Okay, scanner.
Batch number 235, image number 92, matches the same scanner 5162, batch 234, image 33.
So there you have it. Duplicate ballots. The entire batch is scanned several times.
This is the same thing that we were talking about at the symposium with Mike Lindell in Springfield, I want to say like 3 years ago, and nobody was paying any attention to anything that we were saying.
Yes, they had 1,000 batches that have duplicate file modified timestamps. So this is really, really complicated. The batches, a batch typically contains about 100 ballots. But 1,000 of these batches have file modified timestamps that are duplicate within the batch. And that total is 104,000 ballot images that have duplicate timestamps within batches, and then that indicates electronic manipulation. Do y'all want to add?
So normally what we see
Something
is when a ballot is scanned in, you get a timestamp for that particular scan. You also get a modification time over here that shows when the SHA file would have been finally written and when the I'm sorry? And when the ballot image file would have ultimately been saved. In this case, what the normal representation that we see is 1 second delay between the two. That's typical, all right? What we're seeing here is, in this case, several minutes, all right? So from 7:58 a.m. to 8:11 a.m., there's a delay there. What we found later, that you'll see in a little while, is that we have further delays of several hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 5 days. That is not supposed to happen.
This is exactly why Mike Lindell has been on the rampage for so long and had Dr. Frank do all that analysis of every single county in the United States.
Majority of the people we serve don't have an address, so we allow them to use our address if they register to vote and to get Georgia State ID. Because you have to have proof of residence, and so although we're not a shelter, we do allow them to use 201 Washington Street. Okay. So I can't even begin to tell you how many people have that address on their ID. And we've never run into any problem with that until this election. And one of our board members got wind that they thought we were doing things not on the up and up because so many people have the address. But we've not heard any repercussion from it since. So, but it's just a way. People have to have an address. And,
that's understandable.
The only way they can get ID, which you've got to have to do anything else, is to have an address. So we allow that. And we've done that for years.
We'd always kind of been unsure about how
many people were having us established as a mailing address in terms of a large. One day I walked in to a man's house to pick up the mail. And Beverly's like, one of our ladies said that the mail comes into our office. And she's like, "You've got to get this stuff in here." And I'm like, and it's probably a couple thousand people that had our address registered as their mailing address for their voter registration. Oh wow! Now, oh my God! And I'm looking through. I'm like, well, this guy's dead.
Dr. Frank went back about 20 years, and he found that the algorithm was changing the voting totals by 10% every single time there was a vote. And it was changing in favor of Democrat policies, which tells you that that can't be an actual figure that is real. It is a manipulated figure. As you can see in this video, they have 7.5 million voter registrations on their voter rolls in the state of Wisconsin, and they only have 4 million adults in the entire state, which is why I said a million times before that ERIC system, where you just keep continually adding people to the voter rolls based on their driver's licenses, is not a good system.
It gets to the problem that we only have 4 million adults in the state of Wisconsin. So we're approaching, in the 7.13 million number on the voter rolls, that grows almost daily. It never ends. It rarely goes down. It drops slightly when they sent out the 4-year postcards, and then it shot right back up, and it's the highest that I've ever seen it. And it's even worse than this, because there's the 4 million adults in Wisconsin. Not all of them register, not all of them vote. We're really down around about 3.6 million, 3.7 million.
And back in, I want to say 2021 or somewhere around in there, I confronted our Missouri State Secretary of State, and he said that we were being ridiculous and we didn't know what we were talking about. But obviously we knew exactly what we were talking about. According to this report right here, a judge signed off on Fulton County having to turn over those ballots 6 years ago, and Fulton County would not comply.
Going inside of the election facility. Our photographer was able to go inside. He was let inside and allowed to be up and close. As you can see, this is interesting because one of the questions we did ask Larry was if agents were restricting his access or asking him to back up at all. And he said that so far they've been allowing reporters to get up close to the situation.
Outside, if you want to take that.
Yeah. Okay, so now agents are asking them to back up.
Actually, you shouldn't even be in this area, but
hey, you know what? I don't have a key, so there you go.
Okay.
Okay, so agents are asking them to back up, saying our crew should not be in this area. So this is something we're going to continue to monitor. And as our photojournalist gathers more information and reporter Larry Sproul gathers more information, we're going to be able to hopefully get that information for you. Right now,
this is exactly what Democrats do every single time they're caught doing something that's illegal. They will not comply with a subpoena or a judge's ruling, but they expect you to every time. At this point, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and the Democrats are now in full panic mode. I don't think they're going to recover from this at all. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the demise of the Democrat Party. I'm April Lejeune for America Matters Radio Show, and I hope to see you next time.